This 26 Sports and CCTV high school football presentation is brought to you by Wolverine Power Cooperative and Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you. And by Munson Healthcare Cadillac Rehab Services.
Welcome back to Lake City High School. And you see the home crowd bumping here on 2019 homecoming night at Lake City High School as the Trojans take a 7-point advantage into the fourth and final quarter against the McBain Ramblers. They lead 14-7. I'm Derek Tate. This is the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week. And after we pick up action, Trojans with possession in their own territory at the 22-yard line. They got some work to do. Second and 16 after a 6-yard loss by Joshua Shively. Bisball working out of the shotgun. Marion in motion. Now trips to his left. Bisball to throw. Steps up. Now he lets it rip down the field. He's got his man. Taylor Butkovich finally dragged out of bounds by Austin Ealing. Hunter Bisball put that one right on the money. Trojans in business with a first down in McBain territory. If Hunter Bisball didn't have to avoid a little bit of pressure, reset, he had to, unfortunately, it was Butkovich that was 4 or 5 yards behind Ealing. Great job by Bisball buying time and letting it rip. But if the timing wasn't thrown off, he may have had 6. What a way to start the quarter for Lake City. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line, trying to add to their 7-point advantage. Bisball under center. And there's some movement. That's the second time in this second half that the hard count has worked. Encroachment on McBain. That'll cost him 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 5. And this game has so much implications in the Highland League. Both teams entered league play with a 1-1 record. And now a 1st and 5. 22 personnel, 2 tight ends. Bisball. Down! It's a fumble on the ball. Is number 17, Trevor Bodie, recovers for McBain. A disaster for Lake Fenton. There is a flag on the play, but Bisball couldn't get the exchange with Benjamin Marion executed properly, and we'll see if it'll cost him a possession. Personal foul on Lake City, so it goes from bad to worse as McGinnis couldn't quite handle the handoff, and Trevor Bodie made him pay. So the Ramblers in business after the turnover. They're going to have a 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. You feel like Lake City has been in control for most of this game, but they have not been able to deliver the knockout blow. Brown rolling right. Got a man downfield. That's Ethan Barton. Caught all the way down to the 21-yard line. And the Ramblers are in business with a 1st down. They've used Rodenball on that motion. They faked the pitch, rolled right, and Barton snuck behind the defense with a frontside post. Now with 11:30 remaining in this game, it's McBain in business. Brown on the keeper. He stiff arms one would-be tackler, puts his shoulder down, and it's Bisball who cuts him down. He's going to be right near the sticks. In fact, he picks up 10, and that's going to move the chains. It's going to be right near the 10-yard line, so we may have a goal to go from the 10-yard line. In fact, it's just outside the 10-yard line, so McBain can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. But they're trying to knot this one up. They trail 14-7. 1st and 10 from the 10. And this time, Dan Rodenbaugh is blown up in the backfield. Great job from the defensive end of the Trojans. Elian Schichtel blew that one up and dropped him for a loss. Schichtel's done a great job all night for Lake City, setting that edge on that jet sweep motion. And that backs the Ramblers up to the 17-yard line. 2nd and 17. Brown back to pass. He's going to let it rip. It's a jump ball situation, and that one falls incomplete. A lot of jostling for position. They did let them play. That pass intended for Josh Hart. Incomplete pass will make it 3rd and 17 from the 18-yard line. Trojans leading 14-7 on this Michigan high school football game of the week. And we've had a great one here on the 2019 homecoming night here at Lake City High School. And for George Brown III, he's got 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 17. Brown rolling right, looking for Barton, and that one hauled in. It's going to be Jack Pedler on the stop. He's going to get all the way to the 5-yard line, and it's going to be decision time for head coach Pat Maloney. I would not be surprised to see the offense stay out there and try to tie this one up, as we have the biggest play of the game up to this point with a 4th and 5 on the 5-yard line for the Ramblers. Just under the 10-minute mark. Ramblers trying to tie it up. The Trojans fans getting loud. Here's Brown out of the shotgun. Play action. Jump, tries to drop it off, and he is stopped. Stopped in his tracks. Gavin Sealand on the stop. Beautiful defensive play by Benjamin Marion, and that's a turnover on downs. You saw the play action to Sealand. You saw him slip out into the flats, and he may have had a chance, but a lot of air under that one. And Marion, with his hair on fire, flying up from his linebacker spot. And he denies McBain access and gets the possession back for the Trojans. But they're deep in their own territory. They do have to be careful. They lead 14-7, 9:30 remaining in the final quarter. Bisball under center. That one goes to Pedler and blown up in the backfield. Setting up camp, number 74, Brant Bonico. And the Bonico duo for the Ramblers has been active on the defensive side of the football. That one will back the Trojans up a yard, and they don't have much further to retreat. 2nd and 11. Just above the 9-minute mark. Bisball under center. Goes out to Butkovich. Butkovich dragged out of bounds. Some fans wanted potentially a little unnecessary roughness as he was dragged out of bounds. He does get the lost yardage back. 4-yard gain. Going to bring up a big 3rd down for Lake City as they tried to bleed the clock with a 7-point advantage. Just under the 9-minute mark. 3 straight plays out of the I formation. 21 personnel. Bisball, play action. Looking for his wide receiver. He's got Tyler McGinnis, and that'll move the chains. McGinnis, the homecoming king, having himself a fantastic second half. They needed 8. He got them 9. 1st down, Lake City. That's the 3rd 1st down that Tyler McGinnis has picked up on his own in the second half. He has the lone score of the second half, a 16-yard touchdown reception. Now it's Bisball working out of the shotgun. Give goes to Pedler, slipping a couple tackles, but look at the Ramblers defense rally to the football. A host of McBain defenders meet him in the backfield. Pedler does what he can, but that's a loss of 3. Call it 4, my apologies. 2nd and 14 on the way for Lake City. Hunter Bisbal has gotten it going through the air in the second half, and he's working out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Play action. And look at that dart right there to Tyler McGinnis at the top of your screen, shoved out of bounds. And really having a long night is Caden McGillis for the Ramblers. He's made some plays tonight, but it's been McGillis versus McGinnis at the top of your screen here mostly in the second half. And it's been McGinnis so far that has won that matchup to this point in the second half, but 3rd down and 3 on the way for Lake City. Bisbal tucks it down. And he's going to be dragged down, and he is going to be a yard or 2 shy. Kagan Yacklin with his 6th tackle of the night from the defensive tackle spot. A gain of a couple. It's going to bring up 4th and 1. And I imagine that head coach Kyle Smith is going to play it safe and make McBain go the length of the field. As it is Bisbal that's going to come off the field. And the punter, Taylor Butkovich. And never mind. I got to tip my hat here if Coach Smith goes for it. Gutsy call. As it's 4th and 1 from the 25. And unfortunately, the hard count works on the wrong team. That's going to be a false start on Lake City. That'll back them up and certainly bring on the punting unit for the Trojans. And again, what we have in the Highland football standings, both teams at 1-2 on the year, 1-1 in the Highland League. Both teams have 1 loss within the league, so the stakes are high right now in this contest. Andrew Vanderteeg and Taylor Butkovich back to potentially punt. And to receive, Caden McGillis. And they're going to go with a fake punt. And it's Butkovich getting chopped out of bounds right around the sticks. But there is a flag all the way back in the around the 11-yard line. If you're a Lake City Trojan fan, you are holding your breath with a fake punt attempt. We're going to wait and see. First off, if they marked him shy, even if the penalty's against Lake City, this could be disastrous. They decline it because they did not pick up the first down, and the Ramblers defense sets up McBain's offense with great field position and 6:40 remaining in this contest. It was a great effort from Taylor Butkovich on the fake punt, but the gamble doesn't pay off, and the gamble puts the Ramblers with 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Brown under center. Gives to Sealand. Sealand slips a tackle, and he's got a lead blocker. Still going, hurdles over a defender inside the 10-yard line. Gavin Sealand. Fantastic run of 15 yards, weaving through Trojan defenders. Now it's a goal-to-go situation with 6:32 remaining and 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. And Coach Maloney's going to elect to stay out of the wing tee. Sealand on the carry. Sealand into the end zone. Touchdown, McBain.
Touchdown, Ramblers.
2nd touchdown of the game for Gavin Sealand. And the extra point here can tie it up. A counter sweep, and Dan Rodenbaugh led him into the end zone. The 5th touchdown of the year for Gavin Sealand. And the Ramblers faithful on the visiting sideline, giving their team a round of applause, but they still got to convert on the extra point. What a fantastic game here for the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week on 26 Sports and CCTV. Want to give a big shout out to tonight's crew: Hannah Crouch directing, Damian Brooks on replay and graphics, Caden Darrow on camera 1, camera 2 is Alden McCoy, and down on the field with camera 3, Robert Hunt. Fantastic job, crew, tonight. And I'm Derek Tate. Lucky to be giving you tonight's call. A fantastic game in the Highland League. And it was actually last year, as they scored a touchdown, Cody Vandeboss from 1 yard out. The Ramblers were forced to go for 2 to try to tie it up. It was Sealand's pass that fell incomplete to secure the win for Lake City. And right here, we're going to see if head coach Pat Maloney, he's going to go for 2. Gutsy call. Brown under center. Brown rolling. Got a man in the back of the end zone. Sealand, toe tap, converts. McBain with the lead. George Brown III to Gavin Sealand. And the Ramblers retake the lead with 6:26 remaining. It was a reverse play action to Rodenbaugh. Brown rolling to his left and dropped it right in the bucket to Gavin Sealand. And the senior captain, Gavin Sealand, has accounted for 14 of the 15 points for McBain tonight. And you got to wonder if going for it on a fake punt in your own territory on 4th and 7 might be something that Lake City regrets. However, they got plenty of time. And it's Tyler McGinnis, who we saw go all the way to the house, stepped out of bounds at the 31-yard line, only to punch it in from 16 yards out with the assist from Hunter Bisball. And it's Butkovich that handles the ball at the 11. Ball's on the ground! And it looks like is out of bounds. And Lake City can exhale, as flying down on that ball was number 11, Matt Utek. And he darn near recovered it inbounds, sliding out of bounds. Lake City retains possession. So you have to collect yourself here. Hunter Bisball has plenty of time to work with. All 3 timeouts, 6:18 remaining. The clock is not an issue. I would look for them to go to Tyler McGinnis at the top of your screen. He's been unstoppable here in the second half. Bisball back to pass. Looking for Butkovich. That one behind his intended target. Breaking on the ball was Gavin Sealand. They may come back to that one. It was there. Just couldn't quite haul it in. Incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10 with 6:12 remaining. Ramblers with a 1-point lead. Bisball, play action, in trouble. Evades one sack, slips another tackle, and finally slung down. That's number 74, Brant Bonico. His 4th tackle of this game. Gain of 2. Disaster averted. 3rd and 8 for Lake City. Would not be surprised to see Tyler McGinnis' number called. Rolling right, still looking. Now fires. McGinnis couldn't quite haul it in. Bisball
Fourth down for Trojans.
threw a catchable ball. It would have been a tough one, though. McGinnis couldn't quite come up with it. The incompletion. Now it's another decision. You got to think here that Lake City's going to go for it on 4th and 8. And they may not. It looks like they're going with substitutions to bring on Butkovich and Andrew Vanderteeg to potentially punt. Gavin Seelick back to receive for the Ramblers. We've seen him do one fake punt. Will Lake City go with it again? No, it's Butkovich with the punt. And Seelick's going to let this one bounce. And it takes a Lake City bounce all the way to the 25-yard line. Ball is down with 5:18 remaining in this game. McBain clinging to a 1-point lead. They elected to go for 2 after a Gavin Seelick 8-yard touchdown run. And it was Brown to Seelick on the 2-point conversion that put McBain out in front. Now, Lake City has all 3 of their timeouts. 1st and 10 at the 25 for McBain. And they're going to stay out of that Maryland eye. Rodenbaugh on the carry, and he is going nowhere as a sea of red jerseys engulf the Ramblers running back. That play drug on for what felt like an eternity. You felt like the forward progress may have been stopped 3 seconds prior to when they finally blew it dead. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 on the way for McBain. And it's George Brown III now working out of the shotgun. If you're Lake City, you're happy to see them working out of the shotgun. They have not been able to get that snap correct all night. 4:28 and counting. Seelick. Play action to him. Quarterback keeper for George Brown III into the heart of the Lake City Trojans defense. And there is going to be a timeout taken by Lake City. And we'll go ahead and take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for bringing you this fantastic game of the week here on 26 Sports and CCTV. It's presented by Munson Healthcare, Cadillac Hospital, Wolverine Power Cooperative, and Great Lakes Energy. Fox Motors of Cadillac. Also, LC Materials, Doug Glass of Cadillac, Builder's First Source in Cadillac. Your first source for flooring. Stop by and see them today. Tasty Treat in Lake City. The team at Tasty Treat is wishing the Lake City Trojans good luck this season. Best Demolition, your local home wrecker. They can wreck anything you need. Pancho Villa Mexican Grill in Lake City, featuring Monday specials, 5 beef or chicken enchiladas for $5. Lake City Family Pharmacy and McBain Family Pharmacy. Bowman and Rogers in Lake City, your local accounting team. McBain Building Products, your local hometown lumber yard for over 30 years. Cadillac Tire Center, your hometown tire dealer. And Pizza Plus, Cadillac's local source for pizza and sandwiches for over 50 years. And here we are, the moment of truth. Lake City needs a stop. McBain trying to run that clock out. 3rd and 8 as the crowd gets loud. Quarterback keeper Brown has a lead blocker in the first down, and he's still going into Lake City territory before he's finally gang tackled at the 42-yard line. Gain of 30 for George Brown III. And that sets up McBain with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They still have 4 minutes remaining to run off the clock. And Lake City still has 2 timeouts remaining. This one's not over yet. But McBain is in control. Give goes to Gavin Seelick, and he has nowhere to go. He gives up on the play before taking unneeded punishment. In the area, Robert Coots for Lake City. And the Trojans take a timeout. Loss of 2. It's going to be 2nd and 12 on the horizon. And look, if you want to experience this game again or whenever you would like, we go ahead and air the game at 11 p.m. tonight and then replay it at 4 p.m. on MI News 26, CCTV, and 26 Sports. Proud to present to you the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week here between the McBain Ramblers and the Lake City Trojans. Again, big implications in the Highland League. It's been a back and forth thriller for the 2019 homecoming game at Lake City High School. Second and 12 on the way. Trojans have 1 timeout remaining. 3:54. Ramblers lead 15-14. Trying to run the clock out. Brown under center. He's going to keep it himself. And he almost loses possession, but tackled by number 84, Elian Schichtel. Clock continues to tick under the 3:40 mark in the final quarter. Now it is 3rd and a long 10. And right here, the Trojans, if their defense can get a stop, that'll leave plenty of time for Hunter Bisball and the Lake City offense. Would not be shocked to see Gavin Seelan get the call. 2 touchdowns on the night, 5 on the season. And there's going to be a timeout from McBain. Head coach Pat Maloney wants to think it over. As we can go ahead and recap you on the action. Again, if you want to check out DVDs are available at cctv-cadillac.org and at minews26.com. You can order one game, pre-order a box set of your favorite team, or you can get the entire season. Again, visit cctv-cadillac.org or minews26.com if you would like to obtain these high school game of the week brought to you by 26 Sports and CCTV. And again, I can't harken enough how fantastic of a job the crew has done tonight. And all sports are produced with cooperation between the Wexford Missaukee Career Tech Center, CCTV, and MI News 26. And as I mentioned before, tonight's crew has done a fantastic job. And it's a great experience for the young men and women to be able to produce live sports games, get on the camera, and allows me to be able to have the lucky job of calling tonight's action. 3rd and 10 for McBain. Lake City needs a stop. Brown. He's going to go to the air in that one. A dangerous throw intended for Gavin Seelick. Seelan, my apologies. Good coverage from the senior captain, Benjamin Marion. And that's going to bring on the punting unit for the Ramblers. Unless they're going to decide to go for it, I would imagine they're going to try to pin back Lake City as deep into their own territory as humanly possible. But it is George Brown III out of the shotgun on 4th and 10. And he's going to pooch punt this one. And it's going to have enough momentum to get into the end zone for a touchback. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to work with for Hunter Bisball. Lake City trails McBain 15-14. It's been a fantastic second half. Tyler McGinnis, we went into the third quarter tied. And it was Tyler McGinnis on the opening drive of the third quarter with a 16-yard touchdown reception to put the Trojans out in front. McBain responded with an 8-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter, which they end up going for 2 and converting. It was again Sealand with the reception, and here's Hunter Bisbal. He's going to let it rip deep, going for McGinnis, almost intercepted. McGinnis had to do everything he could to rake that ball out of Gavin Sealand's hands. Otherwise, that may have been a game-ending interception. Instead, Lake City lives to fight another down. Hunter Bisbal, he has plenty of time to work with. You don't need to hit a Hail Mary or a home run here. 2:43 remaining, 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Bisbal with 4 wide receivers. Play action, flushed out of the pocket. Bisbal, he's got a man, that's Butkovich. He brings it into McBain territory. Taylor Butkovich. That is a gain of 41, and there's life for Lake City. Fantastic job by Hunter Bisbal, buying time, and Butkovich stayed alive for him. Fingertip grab. And the Trojans are in business. Clock is running, 2:20 remaining. Trojans trail by 1. Bisbal out of the shotgun. There's going to be a timeout by head coach Pat Maloney. This place erupted with that catch by Butkovich. You got to tip your hat to the junior quarterback. He got pressure right into his face, flushed out of the pocket on the run, and he gave his man a chance. And Butkovich made a play. What a game here tonight. So here we go. 2:14 remaining in the game. Trojans have 1 timeout remaining. They trail 15-14. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. You got to think right now the clock is not an issue for Lake City. Hunter Bisbal, and just take a listen to the crowd. Bisbal back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, buying time, lets it rip, looking for Butkovich. Brought in! No, it goes in and out of his hands. I thought he brought it in. Butkovich had a chance. Tough throw for Hunter Bisbal to make, rolling to his left. He put everything he had behind that one, and Butkovich almost sent this place into a frenzy. Instead, we've got 2nd and 10. Bisbal working out of the shotgun. Trips to his right. He's in trouble. Rolling left. Looking, and that one in and out of the hands of Benjamin Marion, the intended target. Good coverage from George Brown III. A lot of breakdown in protection on the last 2 plays. Fantastic job by Bisbal. Able to roll to his left, buy a little bit of time, but that throw a little too hot to handle for Marion. 3rd and 10 from the 38. 4 receivers for Bisbal. Back to pass. Looking for McGinnis, and McGinnis hauls it in, and he's inbounds. The clock is going to continue to run. 1:50 remaining, but it's 4th and 1 at the 29-yard line for Lake City. Clock continues to run. Bisbal, he's under center, and he's got 3 wide receivers, 11 personnel. Quarterback sneak. He was tackled immediately, but he fell forward. Let's see where they mark it. It was a McBain Rambler, number 25. Owen Bonico, who blew up the A-gap. And it looks like we're potentially going to get a measurement. He needed to get to the 28-yard line. And I tell you what, does it get more suspenseful than bringing out the chains? If he got the yard, Lake City stays alive. If he didn't, McBain wins. There's the stretch. First down, Lake City. Now they're going to reset the chains, and the clock is going to run. 1:27 remaining. What a job by Bisball, fighting through an A-gap blitz that blew that up, fell forward. First down, Trojans. Trojans still have work to do. Clock is running. 1:25 remaining. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line for Bisball. His pass complete to Bukovic. Bukovic looking for the sideline. He gets out of bounds. Good work. Bukovic brought out of bounds just shy of the 25-yard line. That's going to pick up 2 yards. You can cut the tension with a knife with this crowd. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. 1:14 remaining, 27 at the 27-yard line. Bisball, play action. He's got his man. That's Benjamin Marion. He's got the first down, out of bounds. Clock stops, and that'll move the chains for Lake City. A little quick play action froze the linebackers, and Bisball with just enough touch to get it to Marion, and he did the rest. The Trojans, 1:07 remaining, 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. 4 wide receivers for Hunter Bisball. Marion on the carrier on the left side, and he is cut down. And that's Gavin Sealand. He's been everywhere tonight, and there was a flag that could be incredibly costly if it's against Lake City. And it is. It's a holding call on the Trojans. That'll back them up. It's from the spot of the foul. We may have 1st and 22 from the 25-yard line. A costly penalty for Lake City. But there's still life. Hunter Bisball has a 1st and 22 at the 25-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Working out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Bisball. He's letting it rip into the end zone. He wants it all. Bukovic. That one broken up. Fantastic coverage from Austin Ealing. That pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 22 from the 25-yard line. 1 timeout from remaining for Lake City. They trail the Ramblers 15-14. A field goal would put them ahead. But we don't know what the range of the Lake City kicker is. Right now, this would be a 42-yarder. 2nd and 22. Bisball in trouble. Sacked! Ethan Barton makes the play of the game for the Ramblers defense, and there's a timeout from Lake City. And Lake City has their work cut out for them. It's going to be 3rd and 28 from the 31-yard line. That play took a little bit too long to develop. The backside pressure from Ethan Barton, the outside linebacker, bearing down on Bisball, and Bisball decided to eat it instead of throw it up for grabs. Now, we do not know the range of the kicker for Lake City. But right now, you got to imagine that this one is a tough field goal for any kicker on any level, much less one at the high school level. 3rd and 28 from the 31-yard line. 46 seconds left. Lake City needs it. Bisball working with trips to the top of your screen. Bisball back to pass. Looking for the wheel route. Jake Pedler dives into the end zone. They called him. They said it's a catch, but said he stepped out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Great catch from Jake Pedler. Oh, what a tease if you're a Lake City fan. Great catch from Pedler. Great throw from Bisball. And we're going to have a 4th and 3 from the 6-yard line. No timeouts remaining. They need to get to the 3-yard line to keep the drive alive. And into the end zone to take the lead. Bisball with 4 wide receivers. Back to pass. Looking, got his man. Touchdown, Tyler McGinnis. A 6-yard touchdown pass gives Lake City the lead with 33 seconds remaining. And the homecoming king is king of the night. His 2nd touchdown of this game. And this one gives him the lead. Dos Santos on to add the extra point. And that one is good. And the Lake City Trojans, with 33 seconds remaining, take a 6-point lead, 21-15. You don't have that touchdown pass to McGinnis without the one right before it to Jack Pedler. And you felt like Pedler, that was a tough call along the near sideline. They said he was out of bounds at the 6. And what a clutch throw from Bisball to Tyler McGinnis. If this isn't a game of the week, I don't know what is. But this one is not over yet. 33 seconds. The Ramblers have their work cut out for them. No timeouts remaining. They trail 21-15. But we've seen George Brown go downtown on multiple occasions in this game with varied success. Pena to kick off. Back to receive for the Ramblers. That's a great kick all the way to number 22, Caden McGillis. He handles it at the 5. McGillis, he's going to be stacked up at the 25-yard line. And the Ramblers got to go 75 yards in 23 seconds if they want to have a chance to tie this one up. You got to expect that Gavin Sealand may be the guy that George Brown III is looking for. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Brown out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking for Sealand. He slips a tackle. He's got the right around the sticks. That's going to stop the clock. 13 seconds remaining to reset the chains. No timeouts remaining. McBain has to get up to the ball. It is under 10 seconds now. Clock is running. They got to get set. This is the last play of the game. George Brown. He's going to let it fly. Looking for Barton. That one broken up. Tyler McGinnis, who else? The homecoming king. Puts this one away for Lake City. And the Trojans win a thriller on homecoming night at Lake City High School. They top the McBain Ramblers 21-15. We are going to have a post-game show for you right after this as we get a look at the players shaking hands. A fantastic game has concluded. We'll have a post-game show here in just a moment as the Lake City Trojans triumph over the McBain Ramblers, 21-15, as you are watching the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week here on 26 Sports and CCTV. We'll be right back.